Alright, you guys, I'm going to show you a body graph with all the energy centers, okay? What human design is, why it's so important for alignment and manifestation, and to show you your soul's mission. Living by design, okay? We're going to live by design. I like the ring of that. And not by what the world has told you. So, listen up. Let's write this down. Let's say if astrology, oh my God, hold on. So, sorry, my dog is laying here. Let's say astrology, right? Because we just did that series. If you guys didn't watch, you better go watch it. If astrology is the weather, okay, we're going to do your birth chart. We just talked about this, guys, if you watched it, is the manifestation map. It's a map. And your human design is the manual. Okay? This is how we live by design, you guys. Okay? And human design is not just your instruction manual. Okay? I'm talking like not like a basic IKEA pamphlet. No, this is a divine blueprint shit. You were literally coded for something, and we're going to get into it. Okay? So, let's talk about why this matters and why this is so intriguing to me, why I got involved. Okay? We're going to talk about why I got involved with all of this, because you're going to love why. Let's write this down, why this matters. Okay? Why does this matter? If you ever felt out of sync, if you ever felt confused, if you ever felt overwhelmed, okay, frustrated about not living in your desire, okay, this chart is going to help you see exactly what energy you carry, how you are wired to work, and what you need to stop doing that's not even you, okay? It's not about adding anything. It's literally just about remembering who the fuck you are. Period. Okay? And I'm gonna write down some points, that way you guys can really dive deep. So first of all, what this chart does, we'll talk about it in a minute, or show you in a minute. It shows how you're wired energetically. So write that down. Okay? It shows how you're wired energetically. Your energetic flow, aka your aura, this chart, it lays it all out for you. It also reveals your natural rhythm. Okay? It's like you got to stop hustling in the wrong direction and really find your divine timing. We'll talk about that word in a minute too. Everyone loves to drop that. And it stops you from people pleasing and burnout. We love that, right? We don't want to keep pleasing everybody else. And you're here to please yourself. And we're not here to work hard either. All right? You got to stop trying to be everybody else's battery. You got to know when to say no. Like, that ain't me. That ain't mine. Okay? So this also aligns you with your soul's strategy. So write these down for the sake of notes. Okay? It's like you find your groove, the strategy of your soul to ride, your soul came to come in and just ride with this in this lifetime. And I'm glad that this is coming in, because next year equals the year of one, everything just resets and starts over. So this is great. These are great tools for you guys to get jiggy with now. The way you can kind of learn them. So let's kind of tap in with what is human design. For those of you guys who've never ever heard of it, I'm literally going to do this whole series starting from the bottom up. Stay with me because it's going to get juicy. Just stay with me. It's going to get juicy. Should we use color? I got some working colors now. So we're going to do what is human design. I know some people have heard of it. Some people say, oh my God, it looks so complicated and you're too lazy to learn. Well, watching this video, you're definitely going to stretch your muscles with this. So this is great. So boom. Human design is like the hybrid system, right? Think of it, it's like, how can I put this? It's like the Avengers of metaphysical tools. So you got astrology, you got the Ching, you got the chakras, you got the Kabbalah, and you even have quantum physics all rolled into one with human design, okay? So this system reads your birth data, but it decodes it for your energy, not just your personality, like astrology does, okay? So let's write some notes here. So let's write that down. I like that. So we're going to do human design. What did I say? Hybrid. It's your hybrid. It's definitely a hybrid system. Okay? So I want you to know that let's break it all down. How it has everything in there, first of all. So we talked about you have astrology. Let's see, like a cute little sun with a cloud. Okay. So you have astrology. Astrology is included in this. Okay. So we start with astrology. Yeah. That's because that's the OG, cosmic system. Your human design chart definitely uses your birth date. It uses your time and the place, just like astrology, but it takes it way deeper. So it's not just where the planets were, because it'll talk about it. The planets are definitely in here, but it's how those placements are coded. It's like how it codes your energetic DNA. Okay. Next, we do have the I Ching. I don't know. Well, you can do DNA if you want. If you want to draw DNA. Okay, my drawings suck. I might not draw that. We're gonna keep the drawing to a minimum. So your I Ching. So what this equals is 64 hexagrams. Okay, which then equal the 64 gates, which we'll talk about. Oh, that's another thing. Another series I'm going to do is gene keys. Anyways, that's another thing. So when you get the I Ching, this is ancient, okay? This is ancient Chinese divination system, okay? The 64 hexagrams, you guys, in the I Ching becomes the 64 gates, okay, in human design. So each one is going to represent a theme. It's going to represent a vibe. It's going to represent a part of your personality. It's kind of like the energetic software running in the background of your life, okay? So then we have the chakras, okay? So you can draw like a person meditating, okay? So the chakras are also in here, you guys, okay? So with the chakras, we use 7, okay? Let's write that. 7 evolved chakras. But they turn into 9 centers. I'm gonna show you. Just write it down for the sake of notes, okay? So, but the 7 chakras are not the ones that you're used to, okay? Human design involves, it'll have some of the same names, okay? But it turns it into 9 energy centers to match kind of like your modem frequency, okay? So we've been literally mutated over time. And that's why the system fits who you are now, and not just who ancient systems say you were, okay? Next is in there is the Kabbalah. Okay? So you can say Kabbalah, or I like to call it Tree of Life. I know you guys heard of that. People got tatted the Tree of Life, or, you know, they have the Tree of Life around their neck, whatever it may be. Okay, so it also pulls from the Tree of Life, you guys. And that's the energy map on how divine essence really flows through you to the physical action, into physical action. It turns into physical action. So it's not just what you are, it's how your energy moves from inspiration to impact, okay? Now the next is my favorite. We do a star for this one. Quantum physics. Man, Joe Dispenza put me on and turned me out. Let me just tell you. Okay. So, I love how human design has quantum physics in it. Because I'm like, I'm on top of that. Okay. It has the neutrinos in it. Let's do that. The neutrinos. You're like, what is a neutrino? Look it up. You can look at the definition. I'll tell you right now. So, human design is a system based on neutrinos, which are, they're like tiny particles that move through the universe and carry data, right? So, at your birth, you were literally imprinted with this data stream. So, this ain't just spiritual, this is scientific as fuck. And you've probably seen hella videos about quantum physics, Joe Dispenza, and so on about all of this. So, let's kind of talk about how do we get this chart? Where do we get this from? I know you guys are going to ask me in the comments. Don't let me forget that part. The piece of paper I just showed you is my chart. Okay? So how do we get this? How do we get the HDC, teacher? Tell me where to get it. And I'm going to tell you the secret sauce on mine, on where I got mine. I'm going to give you a little resource drop, okay? So before we go any deeper, you guys, you're going to want to pull up your own chart. That way you can follow along. This is mine, okay? That's just a sample, all right? So this ain't theory, all right? We're doing real life soul alignment right now. So this is where you get a free chart, by the way. Because there are some places that do charge. There are some apps that charge. There are some websites that charge. Okay, so myhumandesign.com is a good one. This one's more beginner friendly. Okay, I would say start there. We also have, what is it called? I should have wrote all this down. Geneticmatrix.com. Okay. That's a little bit more advanced. So you want to write that. That was a little bit more advanced. And then if you want to use your phone, there's a couple apps. There's a very popular one that everybody uses. You just type in My Human Design. And I think her name is Jenna Zoe. Oh, he moved. It's by Jenna Zoe or Jenna Zoe, however you say that. Okay. Another good app, you guys, is the Genetic Matrix. Okay. So this one is more pro level. This is like way, like, I don't want you to get super confused, but this is like nerd stuff right here. This is where you can geek out. I don't know about you, but I sure do like to geek out on stuff. So go ahead and screenshot that, you guys. Like I said, I like my human design chart because it's beginner friendly. You know, it breaks down your type, it breaks down your strategy, your authority. It's real clean. But if you want to dive deep, then you want to go to geneticmatrix.com, and that's where the chart gets wild, but it's dope. Okay, so my personal plug. Let me pull up my personal plug. This is the book that unlocked it for me. You guys can screenshot that. Okay, the Human Design Workbook by Karen Curry Parker. This ain't a sponsorship, okay, but I'm just trying to keep it real. This is the one that got it for me. Okay. This is the one, you see all my highlighting and stuff. That's the one that got it for me, you guys. What do I say? That book just cracked my soul wide open. Okay. I was sitting there highlighting pages like, damn, that's me. You know, that's exactly why I'd be moving like that. Oh, you know, it breaks down your type. It breaks down your strategy, authority, and centers in a way that actually clicks. For me, at least. Everyone has different learning abilities. So that's the one that did it for me. Okay. So if you want something to study with, I recommend getting that book. That way you can actually retain the information. Okay. It's like a soul workbook for real. There's like no fluff. So let's kind of get into the body graph. Let's get into the body graph. Now, I'm probably going to draw this, okay? For the sake of notes. That way, we're just going to draw a quick cartoon version of the body graph, okay? So, before I get super into it. So, your chart is not just a circle like astrology. It's called the body graph. Hence, this is what it looks like. Okay, so pretty much it's literally like your energetic operating system. You can think of it like that. It really shows you, you know, how you process inspiration, how you process emotions, how you process working or work, pressure, your identity, all of it. Some parts you're defined, which we'll talk about, which is solid, reliable energy. Other parts you're open, okay? And that's where you take in the world and you feel shit that ain't even yours. Literally. So let me show you what the chart looks like. Okay, so we're here. I'll probably fast forward that part, but so now I would say instead of a zodiac wheel, we can call this a circuit board. That's the closest thing I can think of. And this really shows you how your inspiration, your voice, your identity, your emotions, your work ethic, and your intuition move through you, okay? So I'm going to put the 9 energy centers here and label them for you guys. So literally this is your head. Ajna. Oh, so it goes like that. Oh, shoot. Hold on. So that's your head. That's your ajna. This is your heart. Okay. This is your solar plexus. And this is your root. Now, I'm gonna use another color to talk about the defined and open areas that you have, okay? So these are your defined areas. You'll see that on the chart. I'll show you again. So colored is defined. So pretty much what defined means, just to make it short, you lead here, okay? This is where you lead from. And then you have the open areas. You have the open areas, which is where you absorb. Like these are open, that's open, open, open. So open equals absorb. You absorb energy. That's why I said sometimes you feel things that ain't even yours. Okay? So, sorry, Kiko. So, pretty much your soul mission and manifestation. I would say living your human design is like your soul mission. I really would say that. Because it's not about forcing or faking. When you honor your energy type and make decisions the way that you're designed to, okay, and you stop trying to act like somebody that you're not, that's when manifestation actually clicks. What do you think when people say, oh, be yourself, or just be? That's what they mean. And that's when everything just starts flowing in, okay? It's not because you tried harder. You know that old saying, work hard to get what you want. No, I don't live by that. It's because you're aligned deeper, all right? So if you think about it, human design is more than just your chart, you guys. It's actual, like, soul instructions. When you live it, your life starts to feel right again. It's like you move different. You attract different. You stop explaining your energy and why you're doing the things that you do, and you just start embodying it. Now, when I talk about, that's where quantum physics comes in, when they say you start embodying by living by design. Okay? That's what they mean. So, let's talk about that. Let me do a, let's get into that, because that's juicy, because no one ever talks about how do you just be? How do you, you know, like, no one knows how to be themselves anymore, because in school, they programmed us to look outside of ourselves. This is why this shit is not taught in schools. So let's talk about how do you live by design, right? So we're gonna live your design. This is your soul's mission, is just to be happy, to be you, just to be. Period. This is what they mean by that. I'm going to draw I'm just going to draw like a quick flow chart, pretty much for the most part. Okay? So, if you think about it, let's do, I keep talking about strategy and authority, right? So let's say, this is strategy. And authority. Okay? This equals alignment. Let's write that. Okay? So, listen. This right here, this is the magic combo. Okay? Strategy is how you move through the world based on your aura type. Authority is how your body makes decisions, not your mind. When you follow both of these, you pretty much stay in energetic alignment. That's the whole cheat code everybody's talking about. When you say, I don't chase, I attract. That's when you stop chasing and you start attracting. That's what they mean when they say that shit. Okay? Next is, you see how passionate I am about this. Because no one talks about how, or what do you mean by that? What does that mean just to be and embody the self-concept of the person you want to be and that version of you that has it all and yada yada. This is it right here. I'm breaking it all down. Alignment. This is your manifestation flow. Okay? That is your manifestation flow. So, for the most part, when you're in alignment, right? When you're in alignment, oh baby, that's when the current starts flowing. There's a book, by Abraham Hicks, talking about emotions. I have the book in my room. But life feels like water, aka synchronicities. When people say synchronicities, when people say divine timing, when people say things feel easy, you know, when people talk about how opportunities just show up like they've been waiting for you, okay? That's what alignment feels like. You don't manifest from forcing anything. You manifest from flowing, okay? The next one is resistance. Whew. This is a biggie. We've all lived here. We've all lived here. This is hard when people say stop resisting. Stop resisting. When you resist something, it will look like, this is how you know you're resisting. You will feel burnt the hell out. You will feel burnout. You will be confused as hell. Okay? This is a no-no. We don't want to be here. That means it's not for us. We're not living by design. We're living by who they told us to be. So, when you go against strategy and you ignore your authority, woo, that's when chaos starts. That's when You get the energy when you feel stuck. That's when you overthink. That's when you're overanalyzing. That's when you say yes to something and your body's like, nah. That's that devil and angel. Damn, I should have went there. Man, I knew I should have grabbed that. Man, I knew I should have bought that. You didn't listen to your intuition. You didn't live by design. You resisted. So all of that leads to resistance, which shows up as confusion, burnout, emotional spirals, missed opportunities, missed blessings, however you want to call it. Okay? That's what people talk about. That was the meat and potatoes right there. That was the meat and potatoes. So you don't need to become someone, you don't need to become someone else to get what you want. You just need to remember who you already are, how your soul already came to flow. Human design is not just a chart. It's literally like a permission slip to be yourself on purpose. That's when people say, just be you, be authentically you, unapologetically, boom, boom, bam. That's what they mean. Be yourself on purpose. I'm pretty sure if you go through social media, you see people that have, on the outside, something wrong with them. They're missing a limb or they're disfigured or whatever. They don't care. They go on live and they're making money. They don't care. They're living by design. They're still doing the things that they love to do. So this series is going to teach you how to read your chart, how to live by design, and to unlock your manifestation code. Let's go. I'm so excited for this series, you guys. This is literally like your soul's user manual, okay? You're not broken. You've just been unplugged from real flow. We've been sitting in school, and they've been teaching us how to look outside of ourselves when everything is within. We're about to fix that. So the next episode, I'm going to talk about, energy types and all of that, okay? And I'm a manifester, so whenever your energy type could be, you could be an initiator. We're going to talk about maybe you're here just to respond. Maybe you're here just to guide. Maybe you're here just to reflect, okay? And once you know that, the clarity hits different. So I want to leave you with this. Now you know what it means to be yourself on purpose. Write that down. Okay? Be yourself on purpose, you guys. And another thing I want you to write down too is your magic is in your energy. Let me add this. Your magic is in your energy, not your effort. You don't have to work hard to get what you want, and we're going to tap into all of that.